Good morning, gamers. Welcome back. I've got a lot to talk about. A little bit to talk about, some things to talk about, and well, let's just get on to it. I am the AMDM Lee. This is my cup of coffee, and you're watching the AMDM. So, new little setup thing there. Trying something new. And I need to apologize to all of my subscribers. Complete burnout. That's complete and utter burnout. Thank you, Terry. I do appreciate you sending me an email and asking if everything was all right. I do thank you on that. Everything was fine. I just needed to not do this right now. I hopefully this will be the first video getting things back onto schedule. Let me move my camera a little bit so I'm not looking at my down screen. So, and I say schedule's kind of sketchy. I think I'm going to narrow it down to just one video a week, because doing that many videos, I've done so many. Done 4,000 minutes of videos almost. I mean 400 somewhere around 400 videos, 5 to 10 minutes along. Yeah. Devastating. So some things you may notice. The wall is painted. I started hanging. You can see the sword in the background. The bookshelves. I ran out of stain on the second one, so I've got new bookshelves. I still have not painted the dragon's eye yet. I'm waiting on that. I'm waiting for the inspiration. So I guess what I'll do is go ahead and fill you in on what happened with our fantastic little party of adventurers. All before the coronavirus took everyone out. So no, seriously, coronavirus is kind of a big thing. So we haven't gamed. So, and then in my retail business, I'm an essential worker, and seeing people just do stupid things, ignoring stay-at-home orders and all that stuff, it was too much. Grandmothers bringing in infants because they needed something to do. It was too much for me. It got seriously bad. I had to take a week off of work just because I couldn't handle it anymore. But luckily, my work allowed for that. But before all that happened, our party, I'm not sure where we last left off with our party, but I'll tell you where they ended up. They finally they finally confront Strahd. They battle him in the chapel. Sword, swing, splash, lightning, meteor storm. Strahd rolled horrible on initiative. I don't know what it is with my bad guys, but when I roll for initiative, they die. I mean, generally the bad guys are supposed to die. That's part of the game. I put forth a bad guy, the players kill it. I understand this. Beard is going all over the place. But when you have a villain as iconic as Strahd, as powerful as Strahd, Your players should not be able to take him down like that. My players won initiative, and by the time it got around to my turn, Strahd had to start backpedaling. He didn't even get a chance to do like anything. He immediately had to go on the defensive and get the fuck out of there. With a combination of the Sun Sword and the Raven amulet, he was like, fuck, they fucked him up. So, missed form. So what do the players do? He's making a beeline towards trying to get out. The players are just standing there waiting. They're like, all right, he's turning to mist. He's going to come back. He's going to come back. We're going to follow the mist. And I looked at the movement rate, and I'm like, he can't go very... This mist cannot travel very fast. So they followed him. Ever so slowly. Took out everything in the path. Because he's only got a certain time limit before he has to get back into his coffin. So they finally get in there. A couple of them step on the things, they get teleported out. And using some combination of well-placed spell works with walls of fire and things like that. No problem. The party just wiped the floor. Now, granted, I knew going into this that the party was a little more powerful than your average, because Strahd campaign is for first level through 10th level. It's really meant to start, be a 1 through 10 level campaign, so you level up slowly. So my parties are going in this. I've already got a 9th level player like around in here, So the whole game was just me trying to keep the power, keep them in check. They wiped the floor with Strahd. They get into his crypt, and they succeed in wiping the floors with Strahd. Mordekainen was supposed to be their ally, or showed up. Now here's where I deviate from the normal Curse of Strahd. There is no ending the Curse of Strahd in my campaign, and the way I've decided to run it. Happiness befalls the valley for a couple of generations, but due to the curse itself, somebody will eventually become Strahd. Somebody will eventually become the Burgomeister. All of the key players in the realm of Barovia will eventually get reborn into their roles. As much as Tatiana got reborn as Irina, and they will all come back, and it will just be a repeating curse for the next set of adventurers that come into play. Now, granted, all of the party, they did level up. They are all level 10 now. Mordekainen is explaining this to them as they exit the front of the castle. He kind of ushers them out. One of the party members, Desiree, is like, it's time to loot some shit. But already things are starting to go back. The amulet and the sun sword, the items they got that are specific for the destruction and the defeat of Strahd, are released back into the world. They just magically disappear, go back to a new point of origin, thus allowing you to replay the Curse of Strahd as many times as you want. with different outcomes. And a new bad person will take over and become Strahd eventually. But in the process, they receive a. Mordecai goes, well, I've gone through his stuff, and here's a note from someone that basically indicates that they have somebody that can help Strahd in Strahd's curse. And they will let Strahd take them in exchange, so Strahd can end his curse and get out of there. Guess who it was? Hemilita Rosala. Hemilita, yes. It was just signed with an H, so now the party is like, oh, that bitch is gonna die. So as they're, Mordecai decides in his infinite power, just says, look, I'll help you get home. Now that Strahd is currently destroyed, there can be some changes here, but they won't last. It's not going to last. Nothing's going to last in this world. It will all eventually go back to it as it was. So Mordecai sends them home. They end up back in the Venchar Park. So the first place they go, to the Tipsy Drow, and start planning to start their plans to take down Lady Hemilita of the courts, of the royal court, because she tried to get them killed by a vampire. So there are probably going to be 2 to 3 more game sessions. Before this campaign comes to a temporary end, so to speak. I usually run them from 1 to 10. They're now 10th level, so this is the story arc that they're on now, and all of the problems have been traced to, for sure, to Hemilita. They're getting ready for their epic. Once they know who the big bad is. They don't know why yet, or fully understand why, which they will. Oh, that's glorious. So I'm still waiting for one of the players to make a new character. I'm waiting for, and then just with the COVID-19 stay-at-home orders and things like that, we just haven't been getting together to play. Our next, so once that's done, I do have cameras set up to start a streaming thing. I don't know how well it's going to fare. I'll have to see once. I've recorded a couple. I recorded the last couple of games, but we're not really good to watch. It's just it's not very entertaining. Sorry, it's not. I mean, parts of it are funny, but the sound isn't right. So we'll eventually get there, and we'll do it. So yeah, they're back. We'll be starting a new campaign with a game that may be Dungeons and Dragons, may not. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to fall, or I'm not sure what the rule set is yet. It's one of my players. He's wanting to run a homebrew game system, loosely based with some D&D stuff in a homebrew setting. We'll see how it goes. I'm curious. I'm curious. I mean, I'm more than happy to start running homebrew stuff. That's not a problem. But I will be a player, not a GM. So that's always a hard transition to step into. because I love me to play some role play. It's fun. What else is going on? You notice change in the intro. Said I will only be doing one video or so a week. I do not have an outro yet. A new outro. I'll have to come up with that. So that's all I got for now, guys. So remember, if you like these videos, click on the like button. If you think someone else would like them, click on the share. For every like's an inspiration, every share is an advantage, and every subscription is an experience point. Help me gain 300 experience points so I can get to first level or get to second level. And as always, the AMDM does hereby authorize you, the viewer, to gain 10 experience points for every video that you share. Just tell your DM the AMDM said so. That's all I have for now. Stay safe, stay clean, and go forth. Roll some dice.